This is the 2023 Lexus GX 460 Blackline Edition. Today we're here at our test hill to see if it can conquer wet, muddy snow.
And we're also at sea level to test how well it handles muddy technical trails.
That's coming up right now
On Driving Sports TV.
The model we're testing today is the 2023 GX 460 Blackline Edition. Price as you see it here, $62,460 US, including destination. Of course, under the hood is an old school V8 engine, no turbo here. This produces a peak 301 horsepower and 329 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to a 6-speed automatic transmission, and power goes to all four wheels through a full-time four-wheel drive system that has a Torsen limited slip in the middle. We have two caveats in today's test. First, this does not have the off-road package. That means it does not have MTS and it does not have crawl control. Also, it is currently equipped with all-season radials, often known as 3-season radials. Yeah, that means it is not equipped to deal with mud and snow. However, we got some good things going on here. It does have a dual range gearbox, so there is a 4-low, and when in 4-low, it activates automatically Toyota's advanced A-Track system. Yes, I know this is a Lexus, but of course, Toyota owns Lexus, and there's a lot of stuff shared here. Another advantage is it's only rolling on 18-inch wheels, which means we have enough sidewall to play with.
But first, I want to show you one of the coolest extreme features of this vehicle, and that comes down to the special suspension they call KDSS. All you need to know is that it provides flatter cornering on the highway, yet also allows for a lot of articulation off-road. So why doesn't Lexus/Toyota put it on more vehicles? Well, simply it's complicated and expensive. You can get this suspension on the 4Runner, but only on very specific trims, like the TRD Off-Road, where it's an option. Okay, well, let's give this a test, and then we'll hit the snow. Now, what vehicles have I taken down this course since I literally built it last night? Not a lot. I took my Ford Ranger Tremor Edition. I drove it through in 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive locked, and 4-wheel drive locked. It was totally fine with the diff locked in all settings. Yeah, even 2-wheel drive, but straight 2-wheel drive, definitely could not make it through. However, the Tremor has really good approach and departure angles, and it of course has a proper dual range gearbox. This vehicle also has a dual range gearbox, so let's go ahead and set that up, putting it into neutral, switching it to L4, because I really want to be able to crawl through these obstacles. I have a big concern about this nose. I'm a little concerned that it's going to rub. So hopefully it won't. I have my cameras on as soon as I go into 4-low, which is nice. And that's basically it, because this doesn't have the off-road pack. So it's only really basic in terms of the 4-wheel drive system. So this is enough of a tilt that it should really cause that rear wheel in the back there to lift up. I do like how this camera, it kind of fakes a camera looking down. Now, there are some really fancy systems that do have cameras on the underside of the vehicle. This one, it uses data from the approach to draw it underneath, which is neat. Okay, I'm gonna go down into the hole here. What's this doing? It's A-Track kicking in because it's detecting a wheel is lifted. So it's using that individual wheel braking to really stop that wheel from spinning and push it through the system. Okay, I'm gonna actually back up there because I want to see how high that wheel was lifted. And you'll note that A-Track's working in reverse too, and it's showing me right here that it's that back rear tire that is spinning. Get those right on the tracks there. Let's see how high we got. Dude, you see how much flex we have? Wow, that's really impressive. Okay, let's finish this up. That's really cool. Now this is the smaller of the two ditches. It's kind of like if we can't get through this, we're gonna have trouble getting through that. Now we have two issues with this upcoming one after we get out of this ditch. Oh, where'd my camera view go? There's my camera view. Okay, I can watch my side tires here, which is neat. Now I gotta really be careful of my breakover because of this spot right here. It's a very steep drop into the ditch. Gotta tilt first, put my wheels right in the hole, and I don't have any like rock sliders or anything on this, so we gotta be really careful with our ground clearance. I have that much room. Are we gonna make it? Oh, 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 oh. I think we're gonna make it. We're barely gonna make it. This is like, we have 8.1 inches of ground clearance. Hey, what's going on? There we go, there's A-track. We gotta get more spin going. Now the downside with A-track is, of course, the issue of it creates a pulsing in your movements, which you don't always want in a tricky situation, because then you can like jam yourself into something bad. Better ask Nick how my butt's looking here. Hey Nick, how's my departure looking? I don't want to rip the bumper off. Back into drive. Straight. Okay, come on. Is it gonna get it? Oh, it's gotta work. It's gotta work. Oh, we're tilty. We are officially tilty. Come on! Okay. Woo, made that. Now on to the next segment. I need my camera because I have a big rise right here. This big mud thing that I don't want to clobber my bumper on. Now what do we have risk-wise here? Well, we have a big tilt. We're currently at, I hate it that they don't show me actual numbers. I guess I'm about 15 degrees sideways. And then we're gonna break over here. I don't wanna slide. Actually, we're going even more now. I wanna make sure I don't slide at all. This is a lot of weight, and those are a lot of trees down there. It would, I actually slid a little bit in the back, not good. Let's keep this moving. Now let's check maneuverability. This is a very tight turn. If I can make this without having to do adjustments, that's a good thing. And maneuverability of this size of vehicle is actually quite good for the capability. That's what you need in tight trails. Okay, well, now we've seen core capabilities of this thing in 4-low with its torsion differential in the middle, really just shifting that power around as necessary. There's no special drive modes here. I basically just put it into 4-low and went, and it did fine. Now, the downside, obviously going with something like an actual locking differential is much more progressive in the way that you move. It's not so shocking to the system. And though A-track works really, really, really well, that is one of the downsides of this type of system. Because if you're in a precarious position on a rock and you get that twitch, you could potentially damage your vehicle. But that's a very limited use. Not a lot of people do that kind of wheeling with this type of vehicle. But if I'm going to give a criticism, that's what it is. Okay, now we've tested this in these kind of conditions. How well does this thing do against the Rattler up at our test hill covered in snow?
This doesn't look too bad. Now there are a lot of rocks under here that I have to be cautious about. I know where the edge is. Snow can be a little tricky in that way. Let's give it a shot. My biggest issue I think here is going to be icing up under my tires. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it into 4-low. And the reason for that is so I can crawl very slowly. So I'm gonna be driving through this kind of like by braille. But also I get an extra advantage going into 4 low, in that I get the trail camera system. This shows me both my side wheels as well as the position of my tires and what is currently under them. It's a very cool system. Now I have 2 obstacles as I enter the course. We have a cliff on the outside, but it's a drop. It would cause significant damage. We also have a cliff on the inside, which I don't want to rub against, because this car has 600 miles on it. It's practically brand new. Okay, so ground clearance isn't going to be an issue today, I don't think, because this has 8.1 inches, which isn't a lot, but I think it will be enough for everything we're doing today. And because the course hasn't really iced up, there's not going to be like large chunks of ice that I need to clear. Yeah, so this is no problem so far. Also, the hillside hasn't become completely saturated with water yet. Come the spring, this will be a swamp, but not yet. Okay, well, entering the course, super easy. That was no problem at all. I got high hopes for this. Now, what we have ahead is more complicated. First off, it's an incline. Second, it's covered in 4x8 boulders. Third, there's a muddy hill climb out of the end. When it's dry, no problem. When it has a little water on it, it's a little harder. Snow and ice, yeah, we'll see how we do. So I'm in 4 low. I'm just gonna crawl forward. Unlike the 4Runner from Toyota, which this shares a lot of pieces with, the 4 low system here automatically engages A-Track. I don't have to hit another button. And A-Track is a really cool system that very aggressively shifts power. I'm gonna get my camera back on. Very aggressively shifts power left to right as necessary, which really helps in slippery conditions. It's kind of like a software version of a locking differential, both in the front and the back. Okay, crawling over these rocks has been no problem so far. Oop, slipping around a bunch, of course, because of these 3-season tires. It's always great. Bodes well for the hill climb portion, no doubt. Okay, now the hill climb portion, I'm gonna have to attack this with a strategy that includes a little momentum. Let's take a look at it and see how much mud is on this thing. For this, I'm gonna keep it in 4 low. Actually, no, let's not. Let's go to 4 high. And the reason I'm gonna do that is I really want to have additional wheel spin. Okay, I can already hear the traction control kicking in. That's, oh, okay. Got a little problem here. Let's try this again. Get a little momentum. So control is a very important part of this, of course. I think there's a rock on my right I gotta watch for. Okay, so 4 high isn't working for us. We're just getting too much wheel spin. It's icing up immediately and killing my vibe. So let's rewind a little bit here. So many beeps. Okay. So the idea, what I'm trying to, 4 low. What I'm trying to accomplish here is to keep as much forward momentum as possible without spinning the wheels and rutting out the course. Because once you start spinning, you can then get ice, you get mud, and things basically go downhill from there. Let's try this again. Smooth, continuous speed. Hear that tick, 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 tick? That is A-Track doing its work. Oh man, I'm gonna inch up this. Be really careful going down because it is so slippery. Just wanna try to basically keep momentum. These duelers are doing best they can. I'm hearing A-Track kick in, shifting that power left and right best it can. It's really trying hard, and I really don't want to fall off this course. Foot is to the floor, and A-Track is still sorting it out. Oop, watch that cliff. Come on, foot's to the floor. What's A-Track doing? A-Track is cutting power. I'm kind of near the edge here. A-Track is making little progress. I'm not doing that. That's actually the car trying to sort out traction by itself. And it's getting me there an inch at a time. See that?
an inch at a time. I just have my foot is floored and it's working it. These systems just take time, but they can only work with what they have for traction, and there is no traction here. So I'm gonna get out of my rut a little bit by backing up just a bit. Okay, let's try again. So we can maintain maybe a little momentum. Come on! Okay, it doesn't like that. Now I have to make sure I don't slide sideways, because if I do, oh boy, the cliff is right there. There we go. Okay, now I'm back on the road. This is sketchy. Okay, let's try that again. I'm gonna two-pedal it, keep my foot over that brake. Ah, come on, you got this. So this is where the car is really trying to figure out how to get up there. And it's having a heck of a time. Wow, I made a little troughs there. Huh. Let's try this again. A little bit more momentum into the slippery part. Now you can hear that system really working hard. Got momentum. Oh, watch that cliff. Oh man. I'm just gonna try to steer us back into the course. My foot is fully braked. Okay, let's try this. I think we're gonna make it an inch at a time here. Come on, we gonna do this? We gonna do this? Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna do this? You know, inch at a time is fine. Foot on the brake, move forward. Get that momentum. Yes. Now we made it a foot at a time. Of course, now I'm positioned to back up off the cliff, which is not ideal. Slot it back a little bit. Go forward. Nope. So I'm starting to rotate, which I don't like, because it's putting my wheel near the edge of the course, which is not a safe position to be in. There we go. Just keep it floored. See if we can work it. Whoa, that's the cliff. Okay, let's back this up again. We're doing okay. Some things just take time. Because I'm just making a mess of things. Made so much progress, but I think we're going to use this mud and dirt to get us up to the next thing. Whew. My slipping and sliding has revealed more traction under the snow and mud. So I'm going to use that to my advantage to get momentum to get up and around the corner. Let's do it. Keep that momentum going. Keep it going. And no. And I am sliding backwards though. So one of the issues here, when I start gaining speed, is that it begins to slide. It shuts off my camera. I'd like my camera to stay on, thank you very much. Yeah, that's it's really close to the edge. Let's try it from here, see if we can get grip with these duelers. Come on. Hearing it work. Let's not chew up these wheels too much. Of course, the worst thing that could happen right now is I could put a wheel over the edge there. Definitely don't want to do that. So far my sliding is staying within the trough, and I'm not going over the edge yet, but I am sliding a lot, and I'm not comfortable with that. See, full brake, whoop, not great. Yeah, let's try this again. Use that. So the torsion can put up to 60% of available torque to the rear wheels. It then uses that individual wheel braking that we're hearing. Oh, it's thinking to shift power left and right. Now the problem here is that there's not much grip on either the left or the right. So it's working really hard. Again, roll back just a little bit. Move forward, back into the dirt. Again, we're just making inches at a time here. I'm not going back too far because I don't want to slide. So this is actually really kind of the dangerous part because I have to turn. And once I turn, that then means that my back is facing over the edge of the road. So I'd like to make this whole turn in one fell swoop. Then I will have another road behind me, but for right now I have nothing but cliff. Okay, got this. Oh, nope. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do what? Slide up the edge? Hope not. Okay, here we go. Come on, traction control. Do your job. You're working really hard here. Stay on the road, stay on the road. Please, 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 please stay on the road. Okay, here we go. Oh, I see the issue. We're having grass under the snow up here. Okay, can I fling it around? Nope. So if I do start sliding, that means I'm going to actually have to start driving backwards way more aggressively. But right now I'm just trying to keep it slow. Keep it slow, because I don't want to break over that berm that I created. Come on. Oh man. Man, if this had some proper deep snow and mud tires on it, it would do so much better, because I can feel the system is doing its job, but it's just not able to get grip. Come on, come on, can we get it around this time? Inch at a time. And please slide correctly. This is a lot of weight, and I only have a very limited amount of control. You see, I'm totally cocked this way, but I'm sliding straight back. So I'm going to adjust this way to give myself a little bit more input. Okay, come on, you got this. Swing that butt around. Oh boy, did not swing that butt around. I am now in the precarious position of being facing the cliff. Can I go back just a little bit without sliding? No. Okay. Don't want to slide, don't want to slide. If I slide, it's very expensive because then I have to call in recovery. Don't want to do that. Come on, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get, come on, hold it there. Rewind just a bit. Just get a little bit of that surface under me. Slowly crawl, brake. Slowly, traction. Oh my gosh, this is the slowest episode ever. But am I gonna do it? So I'm just going an inch at a time, literally. I'm rolling back a little, putting it into the throttle, keeping my foot on the brake, and inching forward. Putting my foot on the brake, but I'm not slamming it between brake and throttle because I don't want to stress the drive line too much. So putting it into drive, camera back on, and throttle. I know my neighbors. So my neighbors have a construction business, and I know they're just watching me. They're across the valley, but they can see me here. They're probably just watching me, waiting for me to call, because then they'll bring their equipment out and save me. And sliding. Okay. I really just want to get my butt all the way around. Why does it have to be precarious here? Sliding. So close, so close. Just an inch back, inch forward. Man, really? Inch back, inch forward. I think I've gotten myself into a bit of a trough. Now you'll notice there's no overheating, there's no complaining other than the incessant beeping, because this is a hard lock system. Oh, hard lock. why don't I go ahead and put on that center locker? And that will lock the torsion diff so that it doesn't shift power front to back. It just keeps it at a straight 50-50. Sometimes you have to roll back a little bit though. Thinking. Oh, it's working a little better that way, actually. Not quite so much on the edge now. Also have a little bit of a ridge in front of me that I don't want to pound into. Okay, let's go. Are we gonna do it? 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 Yes! And the GX 460 made it up that incredibly difficult hill climb. Whew. Okay, what did we learn? Don't do that. But, you know, the thing that I needed to do earlier was simply lock that torsion differential, because once I had that locked 50-50, it just climbed up it so much easier. Yeah, so there, Lexus GX 460. That was hard. For Driving Sports TV, I'm Brian Douthit. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share videos. We make them for you, and I hope you enjoy them. Woo!